Yo, how is everybody? So it's about that time that we do a proper channel update. I'd like to elaborate on what you can expect to see during this upcoming stretch of activity for the channel. And additionally, I'd like to briefly mention my updated thoughts concerning Dark Souls Remastered, in particular one aspect of this title. So, during the events of the network test, I learned that dead angles have been removed from the game, and I don't want to talk about this too much for this one. I'll definitely be saving this conversation for after the game comes out. There's actually some people that are already playing the game right now as of May 23rd. The people that have early access, but I won't be watching any of that for a multitude of reasons. I don't really know if anything's changed going from network tests to full release, but I'm going to assume that everything that we've learned in the network test has held up for the release of the game. So, and I just really wanted to get this off my chest, primarily, because when the network test was in motion for those 2 days, I spent a lot of time in streams watching some PvP, trying to gauge what the game was going to be like, and primarily I wanted to hear some reactions to the changes, especially about dead angles. You know, I really wanted to gauge what people's opinions were going to be about this, and I was really surprised that out of like 10 or so, probably more, streams that I was in, I only heard like a couple guys say more than a sentence or two about dead angles. And I don't really care where you stand on this. I don't give a shit if you don't think it's going to affect the game at all, and simultaneously I don't care whether or not you think it's going to be a huge change. What your opinion is doesn't really matter to me, but what surprised me was that there was a distinct lack of opinion here. It was like, oh yeah, it's like, what do you have to say about dead angles being changed? You know, what do you think that's going to be like? Yeah, they're gone. So, you know, they're gone. Makes sense. Responses were kind of like that. You know what I mean? It was like, do you not want to weigh in on that at all? I mean, you're allowed to criticize the game. You know, you don't have to wait for the game to come out before criticizing it. But apparently a lot of people are really scared to say anything negative about the games before they come out, because this is a very common theme going from Souls release to Souls release. I'm talking, you know, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and here we are with the Dark Souls Remaster, and it's like just a repeat of events. You have a lot of people saying nothing but positive things. And I can fucking guarantee you, a lot of these same people will be complaining once the game actually comes out. A month down the road, there will be complaints. And I just wanted to get this off my chest, right? I think that removing dead angles is going to change the game, and not in a good way. And I'm speaking as an invader, too. I just really want to clarify this, because perspective is almost everything here. If I was still a duelist, and I can't really speak about being a duelist anymore because I haven't fucking done it since, you know, the early to mid Dark Souls 1 days. So I don't really know what the dueling scene is like. But I can tell you, if I was going against someone in a duel that I thought was a really good player, I probably wouldn't even attempt a dead angle unless I was using, like, the running attack of a claymore or the Mirakumo. There's a few weapons where I don't really see how you can deny that with dead angles being gone, these weapons are not nearly as good anymore. Not nearly. You know, dead angle Wog as well. Ghost strikes with something like the Chaos Blade. There's a lot of different techniques that were pretty easy to pull off in all forms of combat, no matter who you're going up against. And I don't know, man. I just think that it's going to affect the game. I don't think it's going to be game-breaking, but as an invader, I think that your average fight is going to be more annoying to deal with. There's still going to be ways to get behind shields. It's not going to be impossible, but there will be fewer ways to do so. And whenever you're taking away the tools I have in combat, I'm not really thrilled about that. So I just kind of wanted to get this off my chest, right? And I definitely want to save the main rant about this for a later commentary. You know, once the game actually comes out, once I have some footage to kind of demonstrate my opinion, then we'll actually delve into it. But for now, I guess I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I just really wanted to get it off my chest, man, because it really seems like no one's talking about it at this point. But I expect it to be a topic that people will complain about once the game actually comes out. So let's move on. So what you can expect to see during this upcoming stretch on the channel. I'd say, assuming everything is okay with Dark Souls Remastered, I'd say for the next month or two, you'll probably just see that. But you never know. I'm always playing different games. Sometimes they're new, sometimes they're old. But before I start playing anything, I'm always wondering whether or not I should do something with it for the channel. So it's always on the brain, and since I'm going to be around probably for the remainder of 2018, based off of my past patterns on the channel, I'd say I'll probably be around until the end of 2018, and you just never know what's going to show up. You know, for example, I'm playing Escape from Tarkov somewhat infrequently right now, and I think that, well, I know it's a very PvP-centric game, and it's right up the channel's alley. It's right up my alley as a gamer. There's just so much depth. There's so many layers to Tarkov, and there's pretty much endless opportunities for me to do something with it for a PvP series on the channel. But the game is not far enough along in development right now, and I'm not far enough along as a player. So there's a couple things that need to happen before I feel like doing Tarkov for the channel, but that's definitely something that I want to do eventually. Now, there's a couple other older games that I will be getting to. I'm not sure how fast I'll be getting to them, but they are probably, next to Dark Souls Remastered, they're a top priority for me. I would like to finish Final Fantasy VI, and I'm actually going to be doing something different with that. And I don't really think it's pertinent information for this video, but that series will be changing, and it's actually going to be rebooted, because that first commentary, or rather that first episode for the FF6 playthrough, was my first commentary on the channel. So needless to say, it's pretty rough, and I never fully realized what I wanted to do with that playthrough until it was almost halfway done. So I know exactly what I want to do with it now. I actually have a new SNES with a lot of preloaded games on it, including FF6. So expect to see that at some point in time. And on top of that, I'm also going to be doing that Silent Hill 3 playthrough at some point. I'm not exactly sure when. There's still a little bit of practice that I need to do for that. I need to run through the game still yet a couple more times and really refine what I'm going to be doing for the full playthrough. I need to get that structure on lock, and that's going to save me countless hours getting that all together. But aside from those things, you just never really know. You know, again, I'm always playing something, so I just can't say what's going to be on the schedule, with the exception of those things. And I'd say almost certainly you'll be seeing me within the next couple weeks for an update on Dark Souls Remastered. Possibly sooner than that. I might do like a 10-minute video or so just to briefly talk about some things. If I play the game, if I start playing the game, if I start making my first build and I say to myself, well shit, I need to talk about this, then I might come back pretty soon and do a short discussion. But assuming that dead angles are the only thing that we're really going to be delving into, then I probably would expect to be back in a couple weeks for, more extended commentary, 20 to 25 minutes or so. But I guess that pretty much covers it for this, guys. Good luck with Dark Souls Remastered. I hope everything goes well, and I'll see you guys quite soon. Take care.